turn an adversity into an opportunity, if you want. My thought, but it was more of a rational thought. It was, I've been given this life, I've been given this situation for whatever reason. I cannot just not do anything with it. I can't lose myself into sadness or I can make something out of it. And for me, maybe that's innate me that I want to do something. I don't want just, as you say, you don't just exist. I just don't want just to exist. I want to do something better. But what is something better? So in this process of learning to transcend, as we call it, don't do things for yourself only, and in this level, transcend beyond yourself, grow beyond yourself.
Hello and welcome to the Come Life podcast. Today I have a very special, intelligent and smart woman with me on this podcast. She is the founder of a non-profit organization which supports medical and scientific research on rare diseases. She lives happily with her husband John and their 2 little daughters. Her roots are in Netherlands and Colombia. Together with her husband John, she founded the ZC4H2 Research Foundation in 2018 with the aim of improving the quality of life of children like their daughter by facilitating scientific and medical research, increasing awareness about the condition, and supporting families through dissemination of accurate and relevant information about the condition. The foundation is now a parent-led non-profit organization registered in USA and in the European Union and operates globally. I really believe in what she's doing. I love her evolution. She's none other than Cathy Paul-Fijten, and her mission is to contribute in any possible way to a better life and future for children and families touched by rare diseases anywhere in the world. Her foundation slogan states that there's always hope through science. Please allow me to welcome Catherine on my show. Welcome, Cathy. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your time, and I'm very, very happy to have you here today.
No, the pleasure is mine, Meher. It is wonderful to be here, sitting with you in this great podcast and have the opportunity to have a little bit of experience share with you about my journey.
Thank you again. So let's start with, what does this slogan mean to you?
Well, we say hope through science for the foundation that we started together with my husband. Why hope through science is because what we wanted was to have the hope in the form of a better quality of life for children like my daughter. And we one of the tools, probably the main tool that we envisioned as giving us hope, was scientific research. So there is many tools, I would say, that can give hope for children that are suffering from a chronic condition or rare disease. But for us, science was the most secure, the best way to go towards hope, to the journey of hope. Hopefully give us answers about improvement of the quality of life.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to believe in science because it has given us so much to be thankful for. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So your journey as a mother, you mentioned that your child was diagnosed with this rare condition.
Yeah.
How did you feel the first time you discovered she had this rare disorder?
Yeah, in my particular case, it came very early on when she was just born. It was obvious that there was something that was out of the norm when she was born, and so we went through the diagnostic process, and we were very lucky to have a very early diagnosis. Within a few months, we knew about this condition, but then there you are. You have a kid that has something that no one knows about. We call it an ultra rare condition. By the time that she was born, there were 12 other kids in the world known to have this condition, so we didn't know anything about it. Milou, her name is Milou, is not my first daughter, it's my second one. So I was just a year before I had become a mom with her older sister. so I was in this journey of discovering of mothership, if you want. It was very early on, and it was this intense happiness that I've obviously had felt a year before when her sister was born, and the moment that that she was born, combined with intense anxiety, and it is more than sadness. I think that sadness was not, in my particular case, something that I can tell you that I felt. There was nothing to be sad about. I mean, I was absolutely happy with in my eyes, perfect daughter, with both my daughters, but it was worry. I think I've never felt so much worry in my life, and it is another level of worry. So it was that I can define it as an intense worry, and your hands are tied. You don't know what to do. You don't know anything. So impotence and worry. You can't do anything to improve the situation, and that when it comes to your child and the well-being and suffering of your child amplifies everything.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm a mother of twin girls. Anything little happens to them and it's just so amplified. I'm usually a very calm person. I'm usually a very, I would say, very peaceful person, and I live in faith. So I'm okay with how things turn up, situations happen, they get a little bit of hurt. But I just feel that when it's the matter of the kids, it's just something very different.
Yeah, something visceral kicks into you. You cannot control it. It is difficult because it is mere humanity, right? You as a mother are supposed to protect your child, and you can't. So when you see him suffering, when you see him having something that shouldn't be there, it's intense worry. It's very it's almost uncontrollable. So I must say that there is one word that I always describe it with. I told you worry and fear, but it is anxiety and desperation in a sense. Fear of what is going to happen. Don't know if you agree with me, but I think that the worst feeling that a human being can have is fear.
I think we all have been there. We
Yes.
have at some point or the other
Yes.
in our life
Yes,
with different situations, but we all know how that feels.
exactly.
So
But
how did
sorry.
So how did you cope with this fear, anxiety, desperation? I think that's what makes us all human,
Yes.
and that's the sharing that will really add value to everybody. If you
Yes.
may share.
Yes. Look, early on, some sort of instinct kicked in of you have to do something, and that is a process that every parent will go through, and that everything, you have to do something about it. So you start trying to find answers and try to, to help your child and do all sorts of things, but you can't find the answers because no one has the answers when it comes to the world of these rare conditions, and so you start feeling that the sense of fear intensifies and amplifies. But it is, I think, you can let yourself go into fear and worry, especially when you think that you are allowed to, because you are justified to let yourself go in fear and worry because it's your child. There's nothing worse than that could happen, right? So you have all the rights, I would say, and yes, you have to allow you to feel things. But what happened to me is like, I can't because I will come into a place in my life where I cannot serve my children, I cannot serve her, I cannot serve myself, I cannot serve my husband. I'm going to lose myself into victimhood. I cannot be the victim of this situation. I have to step up, I have to do something. So my way of coping with that personally was, let's find answers. As I say, there was no answers back then when she was born in 2015. And so we started looking for answers ourselves. That is when John, my husband, and I decided to start the action ourselves. And we found that, it's a long process, but before that, we started contacting doctors, scientists around the world. We were very blessed with friends here in Dubai and outside Dubai that helped us with the right contacts. And we started building this network around us of knowledge, and based on that knowledge and support, based on that, we decided to create a foundation, which is basically created to let scientific research guide us towards hope. As I say, find treatments, viable treatments for children like my daughter that will improve the quality of life. So for me, again, the tool of taking action and doing something was very good in terms of not only trying to help my daughter with that, but also myself. That will, instead of living in the fear and worry, I had home. I had something to look forward to, and also had something to share with others. I had something to give out of this adversity. So that is how it all started. Not something that happened. It is a process, I think in my case, two things. It is a process of self-introspection, in self-growth, and kick yourself out of an adverse situation, but also having the blessing of a community around me and a husband that supports me. And, we're strong together, we could do this together. And in my community here in Dubai, my community outside Dubai as well, that supported me and my husband and our ideas to get this through. So we were very blessed. I mean, this is not something that I do alone at all. Later on, I will tell you, but I mean, the foundation grew into a parent-led organization.
Please, yeah, tell us more about the foundation. We'd love to know. I'm sure the audience would love to know how you did it. What did you learn? How did you set it up? And how does it make you feel now?
Yeah, we started, as I say, John and I, we're originally from the Netherlands. So the foundation is registered in the Netherlands as a non-profit organization in the European Union. And he and I started the foundation, and we were like a one-man show, if you want. But supporting scientific research across the globe, we were very lucky to count from the very inception of the foundation with the support of a fantastic organization that is called the Orphan Disease Center from the University of Pennsylvania. They guided us and they supported us, and they give us a lot of tools to start this. And so that is how we started, but we started developing projects, research projects, growing, seeing a little bit of light of hope, if you want, through science. But then we realized that it is not sustainable for two people to do this. I am in Dubai. I need to, get out of the world. The majority of our cases are in the US, the majority of our families. Meanwhile, we have grown from those 12 cases that I told you to, we have at the moment 250 known cases.
215 cases?
250.
50
known
wow.
cases worldwide, diagnosed cases.
That's amazing. 250 known cases in a span of 8 years.
Well, it came in this less. We started in 2018, so that will be 4 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And those are families that we're in contact with, plus families that have been incorporated into the community through scientific research. So 250 cases, and so with a little bit of, I would say, more population, also the possibilities of better research grow, of course, and the interest of the scientific community as well. But we needed, in order to make it more sustainable, in order to grow it, to expand our activities, and we needed to get it out, to have the support of other families, to be in the US, because that's basically where a lot of science happen and where we have the most, like the majority of our 50% of our families in the US. So together with a group of like-minded parents and friends, and I would say my co-journey friends that we are in the same life journey, we started the board in the US. So we registered in the US as a nonprofit organization. So we're fully registered there as a nonprofit organization. And with the help of this group of amazing parents, we're growing our activities to another level, hopefully, to a more sustainable, to a more reach out, more permanency, more sustainability for our activities. So this is our organization in the US, which is a US chapter. And now we are planning to do the same in the European Union and in the rest of the world, hopefully. But by now it's been 4 years. Just this year we started in the US, but in total 4 years, of which we have very significant, I would say very significant research scientists. We work with an amazing group of scientists all over the world, very interesting projects. And we know so much more than when Milou was born. One thing that you asked me, that what you felt when Milou was born, I felt about, the fear and the worry, but I felt a tremendous sense of this cannot happen to any mother. Imagine that, I am here in Dubai, I have the best care, I have, the most advanced care that I could have at the moment for my daughter. Imagine that you don't have these opportunities and possibilities, and you give birth like a child like my Milou. As a mother, what will you do? What is the level of desperation that you will feel, that you can't do anything? No one knows anything. No one knows how to treat your daughter. No one.
And I think the unknown is even more fearful, right? When you don't know anything, you don't have the support system.
Exactly.
You don't know anyone else having this disease. It must be so painful and so fearful.
In itself, it's a very adverse situation. But imagine that you don't have the resources around you to help you.
Absolutely.
And I thought, this cannot happen. I don't want anyone to feel that desperation. I don't want any parent to feel the desperation of the unknown, of the fear of what is going to happen with my child. How can I help my child? And I don't know how to. So with that in mind, I am very happy that these days we know much more, because that gives me a lot of personal satisfaction to know that if you are diagnosed with this condition these days, that there is a pool of information that you can access, a pool of parents that are willing to listen to you and to tell you and to share experiences, that we already know much more. We know much more about this condition, and there will be like a plan for your child if you want, that you don't have to be alone. Just reach out to us and we will help you. And this is what I'm doing with this amazing group of parents and my friends in the US. Trying to reach out to the community now. So we have grown from a merely, let's say, doing scientific research and support our children through the outcomes of scientific research, to reach out to the community and to say, we're here to support you. Do you need a contact with a doctor? Do you need to know more about this condition?
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's really beautiful.
So that gives me
like the entire support system. You have built the entire support system for these kind of parents.
We have tried to build a support system for the parents. We don't want anyone to take a wrong decision. What happens before and what happens in this world of rare conditions is that because the doctors do not know much,
even the doctors don't know.
Not at all. They've never been, they've never encountered a condition like that before. I mean, as I tell you, there's only 250 cases in the world. Can you imagine? There's almost no doctor that knows it. So they take decisions that are probably medically not correct for the child, that are probably going to end up in exacerbating the problems. So what we know now, from the things that we know now, we tell the parents, this is at least what we know how you should start treating this condition. This is things that you don't have to do. This is the thing that you should be looking at and talking with your medical team. So so it's a support system in that sense, of passing them the right information about the condition, and
that is step one, right? For people to have that right information is step one to any kind of journey.
Anything. So, anything that soothes you, that gives you hope, that gives you strength. At least I have a plan. I know what to do, because there's nothing worse than a newborn child. Then what do I do now with you? So it is at least we hope that we are getting out to the community with this message, and it is not. It has to be well built. I mean, we built it with science and evidence, scientific and medical evidence behind us, backing us up. Not something that we think should be done, but it's been a process. So,
So what I hear is that you have gone way beyond to help other families like yourself to be able to manage and cope with the situation. So there's so much learning, there's so much empathy, there's so much care and love in all of this. So what has your learnings been, and how do you feel now on this journey that you have so much to give back? I mean, when we give back, I believe we less our pain, if I may.
Mm.
So how does that make you feel, and how are you on this journey right now?
Yeah, that's so true, Meher. It's look, as I was telling you at the beginning, it's a process. At the beginning, there's fear, there's desperation, there's the unknown, there's impotence. And then there is awareness. You start with a little bit of awareness, I would say, like, this is not the place where I want to be. This is not the energy I want to vibrate on. This is not me. I want to go back to having a happy life. But how do I do that in the face of adversity? It's the self-awareness of how I'm going to get myself out of here. But it's not easy, at least in my personal case. I realized that I couldn't get myself out of there by myself. I needed help. So that's when I started actively working on myself, in engaging other people to help me. Coaches, you are one of them.
Thank you for the opportunity.
People that will coach me to turn an adversity into an opportunity, if you want. My thought, but it was more of a rational thought. It was, I've been given this life, I've been given this situation for whatever reason. I cannot just not do anything with it. I can't lose myself into sadness or I can make something out of it. And for me, maybe that's innate me that I want to do something. I don't want just, as you say in your book, don't just exist. I just don't want just to exist. I want to do something better. But what is something better? So in this process of learning to transcend, as we call it, don't do things for yourself only. And in this level, transcend beyond yourself, grow beyond yourself. Become better.
Beautiful. Yes, so well said. So well said.
That is somewhat I learned from you, among other things.
No, I think we all learn from each other in this beautiful journey. I mean, like you said, that, when you have faced pain and challenge, and exactly the same thing happened with me. When I faced pain and challenge, and then when I got the awareness, the realization, like you rightly said, when you realize something, then you cannot just keep it to yourself. You have to share it with the world. You have to help other fellow humans. You have to go out and reach them to be able to share your experience so they don't live the same pain that you have lived. And that's so, I can so resonate with this journey because I did the same. I mean, I just wanted to do the same. I didn't want anybody else to feel that lack of love when you can cultivate self-love. And that is the core of everything. Exactly. So how do you cultivate self-love, and how do you stay like the awesome that you are? I mean, you're always buzzing with energy. Your energy, and of course, even John's energy is so beautiful always. And I'm always so attracted to your energy. I think it's like very vibrant, if I may. So how do you stay on that? And I would say, how do you love yourself every single day in this condition?
That's not easy, Meher. It's a conscious choice. And so when I used to live a life before that I call it my past life. That was before becoming a mother. So the life that matters is this one at this moment. But in my previous life, I was inherently happy. I had it in me. I cannot explain why, but I was lucky enough to be inherently happy, and that's obviously a combination of the life that I had as a child, my parents, the beautiful blessings in my life, all things, but I was a happy person. And when big adversity happens, I think I went through some adversity in my life, but not to the I would say size of having a child that is not well. So when the big adversity happens, which I think could be probably the biggest adversity in the human of a mother, in the life of a human, in the life of a mother, which is when your child suffers. And I saw my child suffering a lot. So, and I saw a future for my child that I didn't want to. So that is in itself is, suffering for the future. So I was in a state of suffering, as I say. that completely crushed my inner happiness, if you want, my inner happy me. I was a very inherently happy and chirpy person, and regardless of the circumstances around me. And I started to realize in time, because it didn't happen in a morning, you know, in a few days. I think it took the first few years to realize, this is not me. Where is Cathy? Where is the happy Cathy? Although, you know, the life that I lived previous to being a mother is different, but that's for all the mothers, it's the same. Where is that person now? I miss the person. And I thought, I wish that, you know, with a little bit of meditation and prayer, that this will, but it didn't. So I needed to work harder on myself. Luckily, as I say, I have a very supportive and beautiful husband. And we have a network around us that helps with that. One of the tools that I used was, as I told my coaches. Another tool is my forum at the entrepreneur organization, which I'm very, very grateful for, because this is a group of women that support each other in a very organized way, if you want. You know, forum
yes,
is
of course.
EO. And opportunity to talk about it with my coaches, with my forum, in deeper than with anyone else, in deeper conversations, analyzing, you know, the feelings and
not being judged, right?
Not being judged.
Yes.
I also read a lot. Reading helped me a lot. Also,
oh my God, I can't tell you how what a blessing the books are.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of
Amazing.
my transformation,
Exactly.
I think, transformation tricks is like, you have to read perspectives for you to be able to understand, and you have to be able to see other perspectives to be able to free yourself from the negative thoughts in your head or from the victim mentality.
100%.
And books really help.
100%. So it is a combination of books, of talking to the right people, to the coaches, and my forum, and you know, my husband as well. Obviously, the support of my husband and the conversations with him, and together, because it was not only my journey. I mean, he's the father as well, and you know, he was going through these emotions and through these stages, and together we were trying, you know, to lift ourselves up of these sentiments. And meditation, praying, well, obviously take good care of yourself in the form of exercise and eat well. I'm not a very good exerciser, but I try to live a healthy life. And spend time with your child, spend time with your children, with both my girls, enjoying them being children. You know, they're perfectly imperfect, or imperfectly perfect, as I want to call them. But they are who they are, and I love being the mother. So that helped me also, you know, like, stop trying, you know, to cure your child. If you want to start enjoying your child, you know, and that helps.
I love that.
I'm not there. I'm work in progress, obviously, but it is not easy. But when you talk, I mean, my sessions, I talk to you about, you know, what the concept is of self-love. Why is it important, and why it plays a role? And I think it is, apart from everything that we do, you know, to try to get out of a certain adversity situation, understanding that if you don't love yourself first, unconditionally, if you don't, then you cannot sustain your
relationships,
relationship, your environment.
Yes.
I don't serve my child if I don't love myself. I don't serve my husband if I don't love myself. I don't serve my community if I don't love myself. It is not easy. We tend to be so judgmental about ourselves. And obviously, I'm far from, you know, thinking that I'm a perfect person. But I started accepting the fact that I have to love myself, contrary to whatever they tell you when you grow up, you know, and you have to be humble. You start, you know, I have to love myself. But loving yourself is not thinking that you're perfectly marvelous. But loving yourself is caring about yourself. You know, it's putting yourself first, because putting yourself first, you will serve your children, you will serve your family, you will serve. It is a very interesting concept for me. I have been involved in it, and I think it serves in my journey. It serves, and now I'm trying to instill it into my children, my two girls, and for them, even being little and born into a new generation that thinks differently, for them is a difficult concept. It's like, no, I want to love you more, Mama. It's sexy.
Oh
No,
my.
I want you to love yourself. Let's start with the concept of,
Yes.
be the first person
Yeah.
that you choose for. Be the first, love yourself. If you build that basis, everything will weigh so much on your shoulders. You know that you're strong enough.
Yes,
to
I
carry
so
it.
agree. Recently, I did a research on health, the importance of health, and in fact, I've put out a podcast as well. And when I was doing the research, what I learned is that most people do not take care of their health because they think it's selfish. So this is, why the awareness from the childhood is needed, that self-care, taking care of yourself in form of mental and physical health is so important. And I do the same with my twins. I make sure that they know that they are their first priority. They themselves are important to themselves before anybody else or before being of service to anybody else. Because if you are not able to take care of yourself, how will you take care of anybody else? And it is not selfish. Self-care, taking care of your health, taking care of yourself, your mental well-being, your physical well-being is not selfish. But I think it has been a subconscious programming among communities since years, and it's difficult to break that belief. But I think together we all can break that belief and take care of ourselves so we can serve this world and this journey and this life better.
That will be a dream. I hope that we can, live that and work towards that. But it is a process, Meher. It is a process.
Yes.
It doesn't come with a magic pill. It is a conscious choice, and it is daily work.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a beautiful note to end this conversation with. It's daily work. Consistency is key in all areas of your life. The more consistent you are with your growth, journey, evolution, I think the more happier and fulfilled we will be and closer to our purpose of incarnation. Let me see.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Cathy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. I wish you all the best with your foundation. Anything else we can do to help you, please feel free anytime to let us know. And keep being the awesome you are. And thank you again.
No, thank you for helping me being a better version of myself. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for listening to this episode of the Come Alive podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you're hearing it. And please share it with whoever needs to hear it. Thank you again. Lots of love.